Ah, another show I have nothing to talk about. So I'm a spider, so what?
So from
You
one CG to another CG show.
a much more forgivable CG though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I never said that it was worse than X-Arm. I just said I don't have anything to talk about the show with. Then those kids are fucking boring. Boring is all sin.
Yeah, no, the kids. I finished. Well, actually, we haven't finished Spider because there's still one more episode that comes out on Friday. They took
Well,
a
there's
skip week.
well, no, there's it's a 24 episode series.
We're back to being stable. It's saying we're back to stable. Come on, Twitch. What you got for me? Oh, right. Live. Connection is excellent. Yay. Hi, everybody. We're back.
A
So.
Hey, hey,
Yeah, oh, hey.
these would
you.
I would like to take this time to once again pimp. We have a Discord. If you would like to join, I will post the link in chat.
Go right ahead, drop a link in chat, and then we will also see it down in the description for the video. Down in the
If
description
you
below.
if you enjoy the show, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your dog, tell your cat, even tell your grandma, because she'll post it on Facebook, and then people will find it on Facebook.
Yes, honestly, a share is always appreciated, y'all. For those of you
Yes,
guys
share
watching us live, thank you so much for sticking with us through our technical problems. Sorry about that.
because hey, if we're able to start, turning this into a job for us, then we would we might be able to bring some more improved quality with better mics, better setups, better internet connection on my end,
Better internet connection.
and we might even finally be able to feed our audio editor. He only gets breadcrumbs each week. It's
Oh,
quite sad, really.
he's about to get some work with all this fucking divided bullshit. Anyway, let's. So I'm a spider. So what? Honestly, really weak mid-season, and the emphasis on the kids sucks. But the show gets actually enjoyable the more we see Spider get stronger. Uh, it is revealed that Spider is actually the Demon Lord, and all the kids' shit is happening like 20 years past Spider being Spider. It's also revealed that Spider's, like, the way that we see her is not the way that everyone sees the rest of the people see her. She's a terrifying, like, giant spider, like Tesseract or whatever they call her, who made the capital city's head magician like panic when he saw her power level. And the final episode has her going up against I think his name was like Auroran or something. Aloran, the blue, uh, the blue dragon, Earth Dragon King we saw in like episode 3 or 4 with the wiggly crystals, and it's just this massive, over the top. Araba, thank you, Death to Reality. Araba, um, it's this crazy CG fight that honestly would have been so much better had they just fucking drawn it, but it gets so ridiculous. Spider has 4 minds. That's why there's 4 spiders. There's her, there's 2 magic brains, and then there's body brain. She operates in 3, if not 4 dimensions. She learns spatial magic. She becomes pride. She gains gluttony. She can do rain of poison. She has evil eyes that can paralyze, curse, rot, and then even her rot attacks like make her limbs and eyes explode. It's fucking brutal, over the top, and crazy. And her constant Japanese and English references and line deliveries are really funny to me. And somehow, some way, the show is just a good time.
So wait, then the brother we see, is that the kid all grown up, or is that his actual brother?
That's his actual brother, and he fucking dies. Not even Spider kills him. Spider didn't even bother with him. She sends one of her like generals to just annihilate him.
Hmm.
And before you ask, no, we don't get to see it happen. No, it's not cool. It's actually kind of lame.
I want to see the kids die, so that my boredom can be turned into rectifiance.
Unfortunately, we don't really see much with the kids. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, we don't see much with the kids in the second half of the season. Uh, it just starts focusing way more on Spider and how she's training and how she's growing in power and all her skills. Normally, when a show starts talking about skills, I think it's a little lame because they're talking about it like as if it's not a video game thing. Like it's just normal to be able to pick things out for yourself. Like that's one of the things like I think a lot of video game isekai animes get wrong. But I think part of the charm for me is seeing her constantly fighting. Like my friend who I was watching this with, which I think made this more enjoyable as well because we got to bounce off each other, like laughing and talk about like the stupider, drier scenes. But I think it's the fact that Spider is. This is what they said. So they hit the nail on the head when they said that Spider is our protagonist, but they don't have protagonist power. Don't get me wrong, they're OP, but they're in like the end game dungeon and they had to fight and grind for every single fucking thing that they can do. They earned their power, and I think that's what makes it really charming. Combined with the fact that we see her really struggling all the time and like actually in pain but still talking about the skills and video game logic is a very nice like duality to the show.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I've also seen a lot of shows do they're the protagonist, but they're not powerful thing really well.
I think that's the charm of Shield Hero too, is that he was kind of shit and that everyone took advantage of him.
Oh, if we're talking about like just isekais, then yeah, I haven't seen it done that way very well, or I haven't seen it done that way in isekai before. But if we're talking about anime in general, then I've seen plenty of anime do the protagonist isn't super overpowered.
Sure, sure. It's like Midoriya's desire to be a hero and to do good, like that kind of thing. It's more about the character itself than it's the character that makes someone a hero, not their strength. Looking at you, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Falcon. Um,
Looking at you, Kirito.
um, but I think the show does that really well, and I think I agree with my friend who said it. I think it's really good. I think the show kind of nails it, but it's so silly, and it's like it's just a good time. It's just a good time. I think I said everything I had to say about the show. If you guys have any questions for me or your own thoughts, go right ahead. But that's Spider.
The show didn't end up being nominated for prettiest show for a reason.
Yeah, the CG isn't that good.
It's unrelated. I just wanted to say that.
No, it is related. We're talking about the show. Oh yeah, Gilly. Unfortunately, a lot of the visual gags, like Poison School Club, the toxic Poison School Club, gets kind of switched out for skits between the four spider brains, just her talking to her other three selves, which is still funny. Just that kind of falls off.
Yeah, it's fun.
As for what chat's saying, you know, CG does lessen the quality, and I think it speaks to it because they draw they hand draw a lot of her facial expressions and animations. Like you can tell that. Also, the show is gory. Like Spider loses half their body at one point and just bleeding out on the ground. Like the show and like the way they like Spider eats things. Like I think the purpose is to remind us that the show is the danger exists and that Spider is not a good character. Like it is she is killing and eating people and creatures alive. But fuck,
Luckily, they have the Fallout level up system where the moment you get that little tick, you're perfectly fine.
it really does. Yeah, it definitely still operates on RPG. The moment she levels up, in fact, she banks on a level up multiple times.
I can't wait for the end of the show to be her banking on a level up, not getting it, and then her fucking dying.
That moment when you're playing Skyrim, you know you have 5 levels saved up for just in case you're about to die.
Who needs potions when you have metagame?
Just in case you're about to step into one of the Daedric dungeons and get your shit stomped in.
I remember the fear of Daedric dungeons in Oblivion.
I have these level ups. I also have 15 cheese wheels.
Well, we resorted to talking about Skyrim. Does that mean we're done talking about this show?
Are we done talking about? I mean, yeah, I guess
And
Skyrim, but again,
my go-to in life is always to talk about Skyrim, but I'm good.
Our next show, Musho Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
damn it, I didn't post the fucking screen cap. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. I'll just post it now. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm just. Why is this show so pretty? Now, okay. I know that I know that yes, this is supposed to be a redemption story. I know that good I know that good characters are often the flawed characters that grow from their flaws. But at the same time, I
You? Hello? Me?
found this main character to be so.
Oh, you're back.
Hello?
Yeah. So at the same time, you found this main character to be so.
At the same time, I found this main character to be so unlikable, so insufferable with the shit he did, and so just gross. Like every 5 minutes, him talking about grooming Sylph. I get it. It's supposed to be a redemption story. I'm not willing to go on this ride with the main character being so insufferable at the start, especially what you've told me about what he does in episodes I didn't watch, like trying to get the to drug and do God knows what to his cousin. No, I'm not willing to go on that ride with this piece of shit. I wasn't. I know it's supposed to be a redemption story,
Yeah,
but it's
they're.
I'm not. It's a fine line. Like you have to try to find that line to make people want to stick with the show for some reason. And if the main character is going to be so insufferable and so unlikable, of course people are going to want to stick with them. That's why you maybe have other characters that people like, people that balance out your main character shittiness, or have your main character have any redeeming quality. Rudis, from what we've seen, doesn't have any. Like the most he does is acknowledge that he used to be, but he continues to be a piece of shit.
I can't disagree with you.
Like I don't. Someone that I know that reads the show, that reads the light novel, was get, I was being given shit for it because I was talking with someone else and mentioned that yeah they were, and I was talking about like giving characters chances. He's like, well, you didn't give this character a chance, and I was
I mean, it doesn't help that the show.
and I was thinking about that, but I ultimately
Oh, I think you cut out. Yeah, so you didn't give this character a chance?
yeah I ultimately No, technically, yeah, I did give Rudy a chance. We spent 6 episodes on this. I didn't like it. And two, I don't think Rudy deserves a chance because he's just even though he acknowledges, yeah, no, I was a piece of shit. He continues to be a piece of shit and a groomer. And it's implied that he's a pedophile too, because he placed a camera in his young niece's shower.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the character before being isekai wasn't a hero. He's literally what a lot of people consider to be one of the worst expressions of a Japanese citizen. Um, just like a slob, a neat, didn't go to school, didn't work, just a slug. I mean, slugs are nice. Just terrible, sexually deviant. Predatory objectifying of women, just the really weird fetishes in anime and hentai. Yeah, no, just the dude was a pure scumbag. And if he was able-bodied, he probably would be worse, but he was just like overweight, poor health, lived in just school, like just a pigsty. His parents were rich, so they just paid for everything, and he just didn't do anything. He sucked. He fucking sucked. And he was like a degenerate and deplorable morality. It's not like he was just a guy down on his luck. Like, no, he was just like, people were really awful to him, and he just decided that he was going to be awful as well. And yeah, no, that doesn't change. Our main character is not a good person. We're starting to see it more in the show. Let me just give you a brief overview of what happened. When last we left off, Rudy just, we said, fuck this. Paul openly, like, raping people and cheating on his wife. Plus, the anime has made decisions where, like, would probably have changed things that happened in the story, or at least the way things were resolved in the story, in a way that I personally think would have made it better. Whereas, like, instead of, cheating on your wife, they became a polyamorous couple. But no, he cheated on his wife in the anime.
Wait, no.
Regardless, Rudy gets transferred to the capital city, where he finds out that his family is royalty. Later on, it's revealed that there are 4 Grey Rat families. He belongs to the bastardized one. No, not bastardized, but the excommunicated one, because the leader of Rudy's and Paul's dad, I think, or Paul's grandfather, was also a rapist and a child predator and just a bad person. So they are considered to be the scum of the Grey Rat family. However, the Boreas family, which he now works for and teaches their daughter, the redhead girl you see on the screen, who's the worst when she's introduced, like, utter brat, abusive, aggressive, violent, thinks everything is owed to her, just completely detached from reality. And she beats the shit out of Rudy, so yay, but she's also terrible. However, he goes to make enough money to send him and Sylphie to magic school. So he studies there, they train, we have powerful beast woman Gil Zane, who, the dark-skinned woman, really buff, practically nude, but doesn't ever feel sexual. It's just she is strong, and she doesn't care about much else. She's considered a sword king, which, if you remember, there's, like, Lord, King, God in terms of tiers. Rudy starts learning a bunch of different languages while also learning sword training with her and Elsie, which is the red-haired girl. They fight a lot. They have their own magical adventures. Rudy keeps winning more favor in the kingdom. But before any of that can happen, a magical nuke goes off, with all the major characters in the world coming together and making themselves known, even for a short second, and they get transported to the demon realm, or the demon continent, for the last third of this series. And the show becomes fantastic. Rudy fucks up constantly, but also succeeds constantly. We meet a Super Ed. He's a really good dude. Like, lawful good paladin with a perchance for killing people who hurt children. We meet Roxy's parents. We travel, they start from nothing, they have to get new gear, except for just they have their awesome shit. Rudy has his amazing new staff, and the Super Red has a spear, but Elsie also gets a sword that's really strong, and they become level 1 adventurers, and they gotta work for their own money while trying to find a way back home, as well as saving the Super Red's reputation, because actually humans fucked over the demons, as it turns out. Like, the God King, like, fucked over, not the God King, but, like, the king of all mankind fucked over the Super Reds, who were told to be, like, terrible, evil creatures. And last but not least, oh yeah, no, Paul still continues to be a piece of shit. I'm seeing chat go by now. Paul still continues to be a piece of shit, but he, like, straight up owns it. He's like, listen, I know a lot of you hate me. I know my father is a piece of shit, and I'm not much better. You guys can take... My fortune is gone. It got destroyed in the blast. I will give you anything. You guys can beat me up and kill me when this is done, but please help me find my family. My wife and daughters are missing. My wives and daughters are missing. Sylphie's missing. Rudy, I know you're okay wherever you are. And we get Roxy at the end of the season join what looks to be a dwarf and an elf, looking for the rest of the family. The show, and Rudy, because he's no longer living the comfortable life of a privileged little shit, he doesn't get to do this shit anymore. He doesn't get to keep trying to molest Elsie, who's now into it, by the way, because she likes him. So the show did that garbage. But he doesn't get to be a shit anymore because he needs to work every second on being a fucking adventurer and surviving. On top of that, now that he can't do it anymore, he actually becomes a good dude. Yeah. He cares about protecting Elsie, and he cares about helping Rujit, the Super Red, and restoring his honor. He still fucks up. He gets multiple people killed, which breaks him. But yeah, that's how the show ends. They leave the first capital city and keep becoming greater adventurers while Roxy and the other two look for the rest of his family. The show's gorgeous. The show has no right to look as good as it does. Fuck.
I cleared it up in chat, but I just want to clear it up for you, Dal. I wasn't saying, when I mentioned that to you, I wasn't saying the anime changed anything.
Hello?
They cut it out because they still end up being a poly couple in the anime, but it was just they cut out that part from the light novel of them actually talking it out and deciding that. In the light novel, Paul still cheats on his wife. It's just they actually cover the process of him, the maid, and his wife, becoming a poly couple instead of just glossing over it. And then it's like, oh yeah, this happened, but we're not going to talk about it at all.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think I DC'd on you guys, and if I'm really sorry if I was talking over y'all. I didn't even hear anything on my end.
Okay. Because near the start, I was trying to correct you because chat was starting to get the wrong idea. So when you were talking, I just ended up clearing it up in chat.
My apologies. I must have DC'd early on, and I didn't hear it. Fucking Discord disconnected.
No, we were able to hear you still.
Oh yeah. On my headset, it must have DC'd on the mobile. Yeah. Please. That was just my recap of the series. You guys go ahead.
I mean, if he's better, that's good. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to go through like 10 plus episodes of him still being a shit. Because I get, the long con shonen series, but at the same time, eh.
No, that's fair. Honestly, I would just watch episode 9, 10, 11. That's, I think 11's the last episode. I think.
I thought you said part skip now. I thought you were one of the people that were against part skipping. I can't just move on to Jobless Reincarnation Part 3. What if I don't know about Rudis Joestar?
The show's really good in the last leg, on the last third of it. It's surprisingly good. Like,
well, if it's so good, why don't you marry it?
No, because Rudis is still a piece of shit, and him becoming a better person doesn't remove everything else he's done. Hi everyone. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Internet just straight up crashed. I think this has been something on my end. Hopefully the soft reset on the router and modem will help us have a good stream here on through. And yeah, going back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think the last thing I was just saying is that I'm still super apprehensive about the show because I've heard things from both people in chat and outside saying that this show gets worse with Paul and Rudy. He's still a predator. He still wants to have his distant but still cousin as his first because she promised herself to him now in 5 years. The show does a lot wrong and a lot gross. However, the show is stupidly pretty, and I think the last leg of the adventure of the season is really fucking good. Like after the transportation to the demon realm, those episodes are for fantasy nerds such as me and a DM. Just the setting, the aesthetic, the designs, the way that people interact, the unique money. It's just a good time. There.
She promised her to him when in 5 years when they're both 15.
She's already 15, so she'd be 20 and he'd be 15. An adult. Considered an adult in this world.
So he has not groomed one, but two people, and one of them being his family.
Yep. Yep. That whole Sylphie thing, I'm gonna groom her to be the perfect wife. Fuck you. Fuck off. Die. Disgusting. Gilly, anything you want to say on Jobless?
I mean, there's a reason I didn't keep trying to watch it. Like as soon as it was gone because I was just not interested.
Yeah, same.
Honestly, guys, I continued watching it because I needed to know how bad it will get, just so I can speak about the show, so I can condemn the show with knowledge. To my surprise, it became a really good fantasy story. Yeah, it's a deal breaker. It would normally be a deal breaker for me too.
Yeah.
Speaking of deal breakers and little children who shouldn't be put into sexual situations,
Just what to say. Let's move on to Boonies. What the fuck was episode 3?
mm-hmm.
What the fuck happened? Like, by episode 2, I remember the jokes were already wearing thin for me, and I remember all 3 of us were not feeling episode 3.
I've got the chocolate, and you've got the banana.
That wasn't even my
Little
biggest issue
boy.
with that episode. My biggest issue with that episode was that there were 3 different twists. The witch is the princess. Oh, it's the recruiter who's the evil mastermind. Oh no, there's a demon in the king and he's the actual mastermind. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Look, I was so cool with this show until every bad thing that could have happened in the third episode.
Yeah, seriously.
I was honestly fine with it, and then everything happened. Especially since I realize as it goes along, I could easily realize as it was progressing that it was turning into like pseudo harem, and I didn't want that.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
But actually, like, I didn't fucking mind the harem. I thought, like, Hime Princess was was fine. Yeah, the girl was thirsty as fuck, but like whatever, man. Like let her live her dreams. It's like when everything when everything happens, none of it matters. Like okay, she's a princess. Cool. Okay, the recruiter who I personally really liked is evil. Okay, but not really. Like everything Meep said. Like who gives a shit? Like why? None of it matters. Did any of it matter? I don't know. I didn't continue watching this series.
We were never given any reason to like the kingdom, to care about the plot line with the king, to care about the war that the recruiter was trying to start. Like, we cared about Lloyd and getting into the fucking mate and getting into the academy. Then they immediately went to world-ending plotline. Like, I, it was just so out of left field. All of it. I don't understand what happened.
There could also be the situation where we're taking this show way more seriously than we should be.
I wasn't taking it seriously at all.
Okay, fair enough.
Why would I
Yeah.
take this show seriously? It was very light-hearted, and that's how I was taking it. But just so many things happened that I did not want.
Mm.
Yeah, like the show, we might have been, like you say, we might have been taking the show way too seriously, but it throws this serious plot line with no comedy other than the chocolate and the banana thing for most of it.
I didn't need that part.
Sorry about that. My
I
parents
didn't
are
I
screaming
didn't
at each other
need the several
next door.
hundred-year-old lolly witch to be wanting to do dirty things with the 15-year-old boy.
Yeah, it's borderline passable when Hestia does it. In this show, it's no, no.
Does anything ever even happen between Hestia and that boy? Because I remember that was like a ship it was trying to push.
Nope, because Hestia loves him. He's like, oh, Hestia, we can't. You're my friend.
To be fair, I thought him and the blonde girl made a better couple, anyways.
Because he liked her. But I think the reasons, like, I'm kind of getting the same vibe from this
But I
show.
love Amelia.
Hey, listen, Rem is best girl, okay?
Well, from what I understand in the ReZero Light novels, it actually makes a lot more sense why he chose Amelia. It's just the anime never conveyed why.
I mean, the anime gave Rem the best fucking emotional speech of that year, so,
I mean, and the light novels had a lot more with Amelia. It's just, from what I understand, she was very much in the background of the anime. We shouldn't talk about that though. We're talking about booties.
I
My
was
bad.
waiting. I was waiting for you to bring it up. I was just like, he's gonna catch it at one of these points.
Be how indicative of how little I have to say about the show, other than I remember at around episode 2, it was losing me. Episode 3 happened. It lost me fully.
I mean, I didn't watch
Like, I
this.
liked how the one witch got curses. I was just gonna say, I did find, like, the one joke that did work for me each time was how the witch kept getting curses. It was like, when it was the small misfortunes, then medium misfortunes, I was like, oh, okay, I know. The next time it's gonna be large misfortunes, but it's like, no, for every third word you're gonna say meow. I was like, oh, okay, that actually kind of works.
Okay, that was funny. I agree. That was pretty good. But the other shtick that I knew was gonna get old, like, I mean, the thing is, we don't really have much to say on this show, do we, guys? Like, none of us continued watching it.
None of us continued watching it, and the only thing I have to say on this show is how just disappointed I was, because I had I was the one that like was hoping this would make the list because I was excited for it.
Yeah, this was almost your lock, wasn't it?
It was very close to being my lock. It was between this and Skate.
Man, I I just realized Gilly, you're gonna have 100% successful lock rate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, it was between this and Skate, and yeah, it's disappointing for me how this turned out.
I agree.
Because even like the whole thing with him, with you know thinking he's not strong, that's the shtick. That's the entire shtick of the show. That was never gonna go away. Because in comparison to where he grew up, he is weak. That was the whole shtick of it.
I just feel like that shtick would have gotten old really fast for me personally.
It was just how it was
Same.
supposed to be, because like all the he comes from the last town before the final dungeon. Everyone is uncomfortably powerful, and in comparison to them, he's weak.
Yeah, yeah. I did find every time they cut away to like the scene from his town, I was so much more interested than whatever's happening in the actual show.
I I did find it funny whenever people were like, "Wait, he's from fucking where? You fucking what?" Why did you let him in here?
I'm not gonna say no to that.
But
This
no, I
show,
was very excited for the show, and it let me down so much.
Yeah,
It let me
it's
down.
unfortunate. Do either of you have anything else to say about it, or
I'm remembering getting some good laughs from this show. I think the first episode was really good. It's just I think we pretty much got it's. It just feels like we got everything it was going to be in the first two episodes, and then when they introduced the whole, come here, little boy, part as a joke, I think it killed it for me and Yumi. Yeah, Gilly, I feel your pain, man.
that wasn't the part that killed it for me. The
And
part
I
that
was
killed it
also I was also about one more
from me,
locust
three
joke away
twists in the
from
span of
being
5
tired of that
minutes.
one.
Yeah, can we have some new fucking monsters? Meeple, what'd you say?
I said that was the part that killed it for me. The part that killed it for me was the fucking 3 twists in 5 minutes. Like, calm down, Shyamalan.
But yeah, no, Gilly, can we like? It's first of all, why is this town overrun by giant monsters? Second of all, why the fuck are they all locusts? Put in some fucking effort, show. Which is a shame because this show looked good. Little Lloyd, Little Link, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild Link looked fantastic. I loved his design. In fact,
Well,
I liked the design for a lot of the characters.
the I love the art style on the show. I really did. Um, and they actually, when he talked about his journey to the town, they showed other monsters. They had actually drawn out like a dragon and some weird kind of fucking rabbit thing.
I just like the way you said that.
I don't I It looked kind of like a rabbit, but it wasn't. I don't know what you'd call it. They had other designs, but they kept just using the
The
same
bunnies from
joke
Blood
with the
Sea.
locust.
I think this
The
show.
bunny is from One Piece.
Do you
Yeah,
think this
sorry about that.
show? Huh?
I was just gonna say, if it seems like I'm cutting everyone off, I'm having latency issues. It's like I'm hearing you guys say one thing, stop talking, and then it starts in the middle of a sentence you're in. I'm just having some latency
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah, it's felt like you've had latency issues. Maybe hop out, wait like 10 seconds, and hop back in. In the meantime, Gilly, do you think this show? I know nothing about the show. I don't know the manga. I don't know the light novel. I don't know its source. I'm. The more we're talking about it, it just sounds like this show had poor direction. Like the person, like the director or the producer, like whoever was in charge was like making the decision to keep making the same joke over and over again. Maybe it's the same way in the manga, but like,
No, I think that specific joke was an anime decision, but a lot of people, the few people I've talked to that have actually read the manga don't like it. so I don't know.
Is this both of your most disappointings?
We'll find out tomorrow.
Fair enough. Because I don't. I feel what talking about. I feel like this is the one all of us were really disappointed for.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Idly
Yeah.
Pride. Yes.
Speaking of Idly Pride.
Let's move on to Idly Pride, which we did find out later on is a idol mobile game, or Idly Pride is a fucking commercial for an idol mobile game that's coming out.
Yeah,
By the way,
specifically
Dal,
in
put this
Gotcha.
for me to find it.
One more time. By the way, Dal, what?
I said, by the way, Dal, please put the still up so when I'm finding timestamps, I'm not hating myself.
I'm sorry. It's up. But yeah, no. Idly Pride is the anime interlude for, like Meep said, it's going to be idol-based gacha game.
Gotta
Do
catch
with
'em
that
all.
knowledge what you will.
By the way, remember how I was upset about the ghost and how we like I remember you two were like, oh, it could be, just him being some kind of schizophrenic, or and then that kind of went out the drain when there was the girl that could speak to Mana.
Yep.
I actually did go through and skip through the last episode, which, by the way, for the final song, they just reused that one song again. I'm upset. That upset me, and I'm not even fucking invested in the show.
It's the song.
And
It's the song. It's the Mana song. Everything's about Mana.
and from what I understand, so the way it's sort of handled is really weird. But I think they dropped that Mana is an angel.
What?
The way they talk about it is she was sent there to cure Makino's pain, and like just every way they're talking about it just sounds like she's an angel, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I thought this show had promise, man. But that sounds so fucking stupid.
I don't even know how anyone could get invested in the show when there's 20 fucking goddamn main characters.
Cute
That was
girls.
that was the only thing that really killed me on it. Which is the funny thing to me. I was still fine with it until they just continued to add more.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
If that last episode when I finally you said no, I can't keep doing this. If they just not added more characters in that episode, I would have kept wanting to go with it
I
because I
remember
had
that
no
day.
issue with the rest of it.
Yeah. We were sitting around here, and I remember the episode before where, like, okay, but, like, you and I quote unquote, looked at each other. Uh, I looked at my microphone, and I imagined you looked at yours, and we went, like, man, I don't know. It's because Meep, you were done with it right away. You're like, why the fuck are there so many characters? Who the fuck are all these characters? And we're like, nah, it's fine. Give us more girlies. Give us more girls. They're cute. At least
Like
they're all different.
I said like I had said the episode prior that I was getting it was starting to get to be too many, and then they just added even more after that,
Yeah,
and that's it was like, well, I already said it was starting to get too many, and you just brought even more in. I can't.
exactly. It's like both of us were kind of on the edge, and then the next episode they brought even more, and then they split the group, and then they brought even more, and then they said they were gonna bring even more, and we're like, we can't. No, I get it. You want to show? We didn't know it was a gotcha game up until this point. It was at that episode, I think Meep, or I don't remember, one of you two found out that it was setting up to be a gotcha game, and I was like, oh, that's
It
why.
was me.
It was you.
And I will give King's Raid this one thing. At least it didn't add
Oh,
50 fucking characters in the episodes
Oh.
we watched.
yeah, Gilly, huh? Oh,
Look,
perfect.
King's Raid had a bunch of characters, but it held no illusion that 90% of them mattered.
And that's the thing, like, they didn't handle their roster well. Idly Pride, the anime, did not handle its roster well. You had Mana's sister, and then you had, I Feel It in My Doki Doki Heart girl, and they were fine. And then the other girls.
And silence.
Hmm?
I think the Doki Doki Heart Girl was also like not an angel, but something because the way she talks about it, Mana says, "Huh, that sounds familiar, like to what happened with me." I'm just like, don't tell me this girl is either possessed or also sent by God.
I don't know, man. We haven't watched the rest of the series. Meep, you watched the final episode just to see where it ends. Like,
I skimmed through the final episode. I wouldn't say I watched it.
okay, well, not totally fair, but fair enough. Well enough alone.
Like I skimmed through it, listened to certain conversations that seemed like they hold relevance. Listen, I checked out once it seemed like Mana was an angel. I fucking checked out.
Oh god, Idly Pride. And yeah, yeah.
Idly Pride was another. Idly Pride was another disappointment because like it I didn't know what to expect of it in the beginning. I had no idea what to expect of it, and then I was actually enjoying it, but then it just kept adding more characters. Like,
Yeah,
why does
like
everything I love have to hurt me?
Skate didn't hurt you. Horimiya didn't hurt you.
I mean, Horimiya hurt me in different ways.
Yeah, in the good
Oh.
ways.
Well, if we're okay with moving on from Idly Pride.
Not yet, actually.
Oh,
We're talking about our disappointments with Idly Pride. They did not handle their roster well. They did not keep their gotcha teams balanced. Hello, Taco. Glad you're still lurking. Um, Thank you for the follow, by the way. Um, Music. You already brought it up, Meep, but I'll let you say it again because I know you enjoy it.
they reuse that song so much, and the fact that climactic song, I think they used it throughout the entire series.
It really feels that way, which is crazy to me because one of my favorite things about the fucking show is that the endings changed every time. It was different girls, a different idol group that was introduced or actually like participated in that episode, and I thought that was really cool, which implies that the game is going to have crossovers with other idol groups and other idol anime, which I think is good business strategy. But like, and the show's pretty too. The girls are cool. I can tell all of them apart until they're just all talking over each other with like sometimes it's just too much, man. But how are you gonna use the same song over and over again each episode? Like, come on, man. Like, you have. It's an idol music game. You need to have music. Where's the music? In the endings, okay.
Yeah,
Where's the rest of the music?
yeah. If the idols started dancing to Bloody Stream, then we'd be talking.
Idly Pride, you should have been better.
Should have been better, and it's dead because it isn't.
Cute animation though. All the girls are really pretty. There's a girl for everyone, except that they're teenagers. So please don't.
Listen, I refuse to believe that some of those girls are teenagers. Just like I refuse to believe that some of it just like I refuse to believe that Maki is a teenager. No fucking way.
I mean, listen, guys, don't. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen draws its characters more adult. Like Itadori, I believe, is a teenager, but a few of the characters, like, hmm. Same with Skate. Like, people looked way older than they really were. Like Joe and Sakura were like 24. Adam was like
Yeah,
26.
Yeah, let's let this be clear. The reason why most anime take place in high school settings is because for people that live in Japan, high school is the last hurrah. It's like the last time you are truly free. Sure, you have college, but that's when you're really cracking down and you have no free time in it. Even though college in the West is seen as party time, so that's why a lot of anime is set in high school and in school situations, and lots of those mangakas still want to make adult looking characters, so they'll draw those characters as adults. It's just it's a thing that's ingrained with their media and culture, so that's why people are generally more forgiving when they talk about, best girl, stuff like that, like, best girl, and it's in a high school setting. It's like, wait, aren't they 16? It's like, well, yes, but no, because they're not drawn that way, and our mangakas, and really, they don't act that. It's weird. It is very weird.
Yeah, obviously there needs to be a sense of reality, right? Like you need to acknowledge it when there's a person or a character, or more importantly, a person of that age. Don't fucking do it, man. You're a 35-year-old man, 25-year-old, 40-year-old man. They're high schoolers. Probably shouldn't do it. It's not good. That being said, when someone is drawn and the show itself is drawing attention to it, there's two conversations to have. There's the, ho ho, sexy TT lady, and then there's the, yeah, but why are we constantly doing?
Yeah. Like, no one here is going to shame you for saying Nobra or Maki is your top waifu, because, both of them are pretty good.
Yeah. And there's another thing about saying, like, yeah,
Mm.
my.
I mean,
all I have to say.
Nobra can't wear that dress with her legs, so.
Yeah, the last few shots of Nobra really made her girl works out, you can tell. But yeah, no, like, some people take waifus to extreme. No reason to. But yeah, anyway. Um, yeah, the show in Idly Pride definitely, especially that one girl. What was her name? Ray?
Uh, Mana's friend?
No, the one who could talk to, yeah, the one who could talk to Mana. Yeah, yeah.
No, okay. When I was saying Mana's friend, I was meaning the one that Makino worked with since before the idol group formed.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about the one that can talk to her in her spirit form, who is literally becomes the protagonist.
I don't remember. I just know that I looked at her. I'm like, oh, that's a college girl. Wait, she's in high school? No. I literally looked at
Yeah,
show.
the show, the angles and the outfits the show puts her in, they know what they're doing.
It's like if you've ever watched Devil's a Part Timer. Like, those two girls aren't. They're not high schoolers. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, show.
Yeah, I forgot that show's getting a second season.
Hooray!
Yeah. Satan walks into the room with the one girl he works with. Chris Hansen walks out. Oh no.
I mean, French Fry Girl is waifu, but anyway.
I personally prefer the hero. I ship
Okay.
him.
Okay. So, speaking of shipping, relationships, waifus, and intricate, like, just personalities galore.
Horimiya, episode 12, which, before I read the synopsis, the teacher finally came back.
He did. He did come back.
I was gonna bring that up.
It's my boy back for the last pervy.
He has not changed at all.
He's got it
Horimiya,
worse.
episode 13. The students all graduate, with green-haired boy's sister making it into the school she wanted. Miyamura can't help but imagine what life would have been like if he never got close to his friends, and the students all go for a trip when Yagi gets his license. I did like this finale, but I do want to let this know, for if anyone in the audience is a manga reader. The last 3 episodes adapted 70 chapters of the manga. Just putting that out there. If you're a manga reader, this would not be the experience you wanted. For anime only viewers, this has been a phenomenal and fantastic experience. But But knowing people that have read the manga, seeing some discourse going on, this is not for manga readers. This is for people. This is to get people interested in the manga to go read it. That is, from what my understanding is, what this show is meant to be, and it has been fantastic. Any anime only viewer I've seen, they've sung the show's praises, and even us, we've loved the show to death. Like, I wouldn't have been able to tell you if it was 70 chapters if I wasn't told and actually looked into it. Like, they did a good job adapting these chapters. It's just, this is not for manga readers. Definitely not.
They really did, and very.
Oh, you cut out.
Oh, I said they really did. And not many shows make me want to sit down and pick up the manga after I finish a series.
Yeah, it's this show was
We've been conditioned that it's episode like story, little story by little story, little story by little story by little story in each episode. So the format is kinder to this, but fucking hell, that's impressive.
yeah. Although I can definitely tell where some context is missing. Like when I heard from one of my friends that actually does read the manga that yeah, no, it makes more sense why Toru chooses Yuki in the manga. I thought about like yeah, no, I guess there is some missing context for that because we get looks into the relationships, but it's never like as in depth as we get with Hori and Miyamura.
I will remind y'all that when we started this series on episode 1 and 2, I asked you guys a question. What do you think the show's going to be? Do you think it's going to be... This is before I realized Horimiya stood for Hori and Miyamura, but I thought it was just Horimiya was a word. I asked you, what do you guys think it's going to be? We have this wonderful wallpaper-esque scene in the opening where we have all the characters, and we know it's going to be a big roster. Do you think the show is going to be about just Hori and Miyamura's relationship, or do you think we're going to just have a rotating cast of characters and see different relationships interacting with each other? And while we got both, the show is definitely Horimiya, Hori Miyamura. And because of that, the love triangle, yeah, didn't really get enough. It was cute. What we did get was good, but I definitely wanted more Toru, Yuki, and Sakura.
I know
So
a lot
one
of people.
thing I'm disappointed with the ending is that even in the ending there is no like real conclusion to what the fuck happened there.
Really?
No, because there's never nothing stated. Nothing
Nothing's
is declared. As far as we know, they just go on being friends indefinitely.
Oh, you mean
yeah.
Yuki and Toru?
Yeah, I'm talking
Yeah.
about them. Yeah, no, with Sakura and Toru, everything was wrapped up, like cleared. It made sense, and they both understood.
Yeah. Sakura's a good girl. A really good girl. She's a good bean.
Can I tell you guys something that made me feel crazy when I woke up this morning that involves this show?
Okay.
When I woke up this morning, for some reason I could swore we already
He'll come back. He always comes back. Anyway, while Meep is reconnecting to the land of the living, yeah, I agree, Gilly. The Yuki Toru thing, I mean, it didn't bother me as much as, and you're not gonna like this, as much as Adachi to Shimamura, because it felt like Yuki was accepting her anxiety a lot more. Yeah, Chad, Meep couldn't tell us what he was dreaming about. it felt like she just accepted a lot of her anxiety and being like, yeah, you know what, things are okay.
Retrospective, and I
Oh, we're getting Meep's ghost, aren't we? Meep, are you back, or are we getting your ghost? I think we're getting his ghost. I just went ahead and disconnected him. He'll be back shortly, guys. But yeah, I felt like she got her anxieties in check and being like, yo, you know what? Like, things are okay. Like, yes, things aren't what I want them to be, but they're not bad. And if they get better, awesome. And if they don't, that's okay. And at least that's how I felt with her in the end. Oh no, did I disconnect?
No. Uh, no, just the whole fact that they were just left in this. Are they going to do anything, or are they not going to do anything?
Kind of a
Is
will they, won't they?
yeah. The the whole reason I love this, that I love this show so much is that that was never an issue with our main characters. It was a will they won't they for like maybe 1.5 episodes. Then you knew they were going to, but they were being, teenagers, and then they were together. So like I always appreciated that with this show because usually that's what I hate. I hate that.
Yeah.
They didn't do that in this show.
The thing, I'm sitting here and thinking about it and what you're saying, and like, from a, maybe it's because we have Hori and Miyamura that we do have closure, right? And we see their relationship very intimately develop and play out through the series, that I'm more forgiving with them doing this with Toru and Yuki, because I have relationships where I look back in high school and I'm like, man, that person was definitely into me. If only like I came out with my feelings and I didn't hesitate, and maybe we would have gotten together. Hell, I have that about college. um,
I am
that's
back.
welcome back. That is a
I
real thing that people experience, and I can I think I can, no, I think I can forgive. I personally can forgive the show doing this with Yuki and Toru, because sometimes it be like that, you know? Do I wish the two awkward dumbasses would just tell each other how they honestly feel and just get what they want because they deserve it? Yes. But sometimes it be like that.
One thing that was really fun with this final episode, one thing that was really fun with this final episode for me is that it it almost felt like in its own way was almost like a recap because they had talked about how everybody's grown, where they've gotten to, and I liked that though because it was just really nice. Just looking back, Miyamura did his own retrospective.
The Miyamura one hurt because, again, for those of you who've stayed with us on all of our episodes, you would know that I relate to Miyamura's traumas, anxieties a lot. I was in a very similar situation as this character is depicted in, so like having that whole scene play out hurt a lot. But yeah, continue, Gillian.
What, I don't know what just happened. Uh, no, just the whole premise of the final episode was just Miyamura looking back and everyone kind of thinking back a little bit. Look, all the little snapshots and the colors. It was just it was good. It was good fun.
am I back from the land of the dead?
You are indeed, Mr. Meep.
Okay. To finish to add on to what you were saying about Toru and Yuki before I finish off my thought from earlier, yeah, Toru and Yuki, I agree that I'm okay with how it ended. I just wish that we would have had some more definitive I wish we would have had a more definitive idea of, yeah, no, they didn't get together or they did. And I wish it would have given us more context as to why that choice that was made was made. Just getting us more insight into the characters, because we do get a lot of insight as to why Miyamura and Hori make those choices. It's just a lot of context missing from the manga that, in hindsight, I did realize, which it isn't fair. This is meant as a sort of way to get people into the manga, because there was no way they were going to adapt all of it faithfully into one season.
Hmm. Yeah, you feel similar to what me and Gilly were saying while you were away. We expressed very similar opinions on that, just to catch you up. I just think it's because the show had to choose what to focus on, and it focused on strongly on Hori and Miyamura, and we just had other relationships they couldn't have enough screen time to really develop. Otherwise, a lot of the other smaller relationships and characters would have completely fallen by the wayside. But yeah, it would have been nice to see what happened and to have that a little bit more explored.
Yeah, and to finish off my thought from earlier, I had this very vivid dream where we did this, and we were talking about the show. And I remember Gilly was telling us about how there was one chapter that that the show didn't do, and it was about, apparently there was a time skip, and it was when Hori realized she didn't love Miyamura anymore, and that's when the clouds came back to her life. And I don't know why, I vividly remember this conversation, and I was just so sad after. I woke up and I was just sad, like, no, why did they have to break up? But I don't know why my brain comes up with this when I'm asleep.
That is sad. I would be sad too if that had happened. What about you, Gilly? Are you about to drop the knowledge on us?
Horimiya, the sad end.
That would just be confusing, is all that would be.
She doesn't love Miyamura anymore, and now the clouds are back in her life. I don't even remember if there's an explanation as to why that was given. It was just that she fell out of love or something. I don't know. My brain is weird.
Hey,
At least this wasn't
sometimes even good relationships. Yeah. But sometimes even good relationships come to an end. What's important is that they end well too. But speaking of good relationships, let's talk about Hori and Miyamura. Let's talk about Horimiya.
Yeah. Good relationships come to an end, so make sure your partner stays yours forever and lock them in your basement.
Ah, yes. The modern understanding of love. Possession and yeah, no, fuck that. Shut up, me punch.
It's like that fucking Meat Canyon Garfield video.
I don't know what you said, but the words that you said and the combination that they were said in, I did not like. Kuma
That
punch.
came out. What you don't watch Meat Canyon?
So how do we feel about Horimiya as a couple throughout the show? Don't hurt me no more.
Man, Miyamura would have been a sad boy if he didn't meet them.
Okay, let's talk about Miyamura then. Fuck, guys, that
I relate so heavily.
Yeah, same.
To that scene. I would often think about how small little happenstances just bring so much together. If it wasn't for one small little happenstance of me joining a D&D game, I would not have as much of an online presence as I do. I would not have met the people I have. I would not be as outgoing as I was. I would probably be a worse person, honestly, because I would be feeding into what the people around me are like, what the people in my province are like. That's not a good thing.
I think there is beauty and opportunity for joy to be found within looking back and appreciating what Miyamura refers to as coincidences, but just the little moments that lead you to where you are now. I don't think that right, Hori saves him from becoming fixated on that thought, because I don't think it's healthy. You shouldn't analyze why your life, where you are in life, and how you got here. But I think it's important to look back, both to learn lessons from, because your failures are opportunities to learn and improve, and reflecting on that is important. But also just to realize, how just a few nice little moments have culminated into like what you have now, and only makes you appreciate what you have even more.
Yeah, I agree.
The part in that scene that got me though with Miyamura was when I thought the whole thing was really good. I'm like, okay, cool. We're having a really nice closure and reflection. There was this one scene where everyone was like clicky. It showed like everyone talking to each other, but not to like a few of their own people, but not to each other. Because all of those people, all the colors you see on the screen right now, they all blend because it is implied that Hori and Miyamura got together. Otherwise, a lot of these people would have stayed in their own circles. I think they miscolored it. I think they gave Sakura, Remy, and Yanagi the one color. I think it should have been Son Goku, uh, Sengoku. But regardless, the scene that got me to choke up a little bit was when Miyamura turns around to his old former and alternative self, and goes, "I'm sorry. I will stop pretending. Um, I'll stop pretending you're not. I'll stop pretending you're not there." And when he turns around, it's just his middle school self, that hurt kid who's been wronged by so many people and just doesn't know why. Just turns around and goes, "No, it's okay. Now that you've stopped, I'll disappear for you." And I'm like, "Fucking hell, man! Way to communicate trauma, closure, and healing."
Yeah, it's it's a very good representation of what that kind of feeling is like.
I wish I could recover as much as Miyamura did, as fast as Miyamura did, but I'm happy for him. I know he's a fictional character, but it's a good example of how to like heal and let go. Although I am
Yeah.
concerned for them too. I'm worried that, they're really rushing their relationship.
Hmm. Maybe the manga expands upon the marriage thing. Maybe there's like a point where she's like, "What were we thinking, Miyamura-kun?"
There's a fun little offshoot that I'm currently looking at that's a two-chapter thing of 10 years later.
Oh.
But the thing is, it's not focused
Oh,
around either of them. It's focused around Sota and the girl that he always has over at their house.
Cute red girl
oh,
gets and Soda get to yay. I'm happy for them. They seem they're
It's
cute
actually
kids.
really cute.
Aw. Post it.
They're both in like high school now.
Ah. Oh, I love that. I love that.
It's funny too because it's called like chapters 119.5 and 119.6, which I
Nice.
really hate. It's
Nice.
really cute though.
Does anyone else have the Horimiya? I almost said Hinamatsuri. Does anyone else have the Horimiya opening playing in their head right now, or just me?
It always plays in my mind every once in a while.
It's really pretty too.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I particularly like how that one scene where they show Hori kind of going through the four panels of seasons, and you see the tree, the lighting, and her outfit kind of change depending on the season, as well as, of course, this still, all of the characters on screen. Anyway, what do you guys think about their relationship? Do you think they're really rushing into it? Or, is it all right, should they just continue on happily, and I should take my own potential jadedness and shove it?
If they make it work, then fantastic. I I don't see any reason to stop them.
Yeah, I don't want them to break up. I just the marriage, the high school marriage thing for me as an American is weird.
I don't think they're getting married right away. I think that was just them saying, "Hey, let's stay together until we get married."
Ah, so Gilly, this is something I wanted to ask you before. Which do you think is a better finale for this episode, for this series? The last episode or the Christmas episode, the pre-last episode?
Wait, what?
What do you think is a better finale for this series? This episode or the episode 11, the Christmas episode, or 12, whichever one that was?
Uh, it's really hard to say because I think things from both needed to be there for it to be a good ending.
I agree. What about you, Meep?
I think this episode worked better as a finale. Honestly, it gave us some sort of conclusion with Miriam's feelings and everything.
I feel like episode 12 was the finale for the characters because we got to see everyone kind of. We've seen everyone come away a long way, and because we've always got
Oh,
snippets, it never felt like we're watching multiple stories. It just all kind of happened like life.
oh,
And then episode 13, the finale, felt like the finale for Miyamura and Hori. Just, what's up, good?
I'm just skimming through this, and the next chapter, after 10 years later, is called 20 Years Before, and it's about Hori's parents in high school. What the fuck
No!
is this shit? It's so good.
I need to see that.
Kyosuke was really hot in high school.
I mean, he's
He was
supposedly
also
really
a
hot
punk.
now. Of course he
He drove.
was.
He wore a leather jacket and drove in on a motorcycle his first day.
I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm looking at this and it's fucking distracting me a little bit. Stuff though. Oh, this is like stuff that happened right before the final episode. Cool.
Oh.
But go on.
Oh, Also, speaking of their parents, Horimiya's dad just shows up and goes, "Hey, Miyamura, my boy, my child, my kid, me boy."
He doesn't. He doesn't want to take pictures with his daughter. He wants to take pictures with Miyamura.
To be fair, he is kinder to him than his daughter.
Yeah. It's it's nice. It's cute.
Yeah, that's why I think Kyosuke likes to see Miyamura all the time because he's actually nice to him. The rest of his family fucking hates him. I'd want to see the guy who's nice to me too.
You will die on this hill, Meep.
I just like Kyosuke. He just got more and more funny for me. And he's nice. He really is. He's just, him.
Fair enough, and I guess you can't really blame someone for being themselves. Except I do. Remy's final scene was kind of weird. Like, she got really bashful about wanting to hang out, and she got a little anxious about people not wanting to be her friends anymore. Like, that's not an insecurity I expected her to have, but it was nice to get that, like, full counter, like, full round. It came full circle for her. She was really confident. She kind of created insecurities. Then she and Sakura kind of not rekindled, but like reestablished their relationship as being really close. And then in the end, she was insecure, and everyone brought her up.
See, when that scene first started, I thought it was going to lead into Remy wanting to spend the night with Sengoku in a hotel.
Yep, me too. I was pretty sure she's like, why don't you let me? You don't want me to be alone in my room? Do you not love me, Sengoku?
Sengoku-kun, don't you
Oh,
want me to
speaking
give
of
you? Oh, I was just gonna make a joke.
Sengoku's father shows up in the fucking manga, and they're just clones of each other.
God damn
Oh
it.
God. Give him Roadhead. I mean, what?
I mean, oh my god. On that joke, OBS is disconnected. You can't make this shit up, folks. Alex. Ruckduck, I'm sorry. I had to get back up because there was a big pause followed by a random roadhead, and I'm confused. No, fair enough. Roadhead aside, and definitely not Remy, this show does characters incredibly well. Horimiya stands out among other slice of life high school romance animes for me because it actually doesn't rely on problematic behaviors and outside drama for it to stay interesting. The drama comes from inside each character and how they feel individually and how they feel in a relationship with different people. The show has succeeded in running a roster of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, so let's see, 6, 9, 12. This show has succeeded running a roster of 15 plus characters, and each character being unique. You immediately identify them, you know what they're about, you know what their issues are, you know what their strengths are. Not every character lands right with me, but just like in life, not every person you meet is going to be someone you're going to get along with, and that's okay. Some people are not right for each other, and this show explores that in many different ways. And I love characters, and this show is pretty. It talks about your internal emotions really well. I really relate to Miyamura's inner insecurities and traumas really well. And I am amazed at how this series was able to, in one season, handle so many chapters and do it coherently. And Wonder Egg would probably have gotten this if it finished the series, but I have zero regrets with saying, Horimiya, may you please marry me. Oh, I don't get bells? There it is. No, this show's great. I love this show as much. Gilly, I fully expected us to be splitting custody. That's not the right term. Splitting the household, but I love this show. Horimiya, you are delightful, and I honestly would go back and probably binge watch you from start to finish.
Do you want the ring on Hori or Miyamura's hand, Dell?
I want the ring on Yuki's hand. She's a precious bean. But if I have to choose between Hori or Miyamura, I guess I'll choose Miyamura.
Have that off. It's Hori or Miyamura. What's on this background?
Sorry, you were cutting in and out.
I said, well, you don't get an option. There's only Hori or Miyamura on this poster.
Okay, give it to Miyamura. He's a good boy, and I really relate to him.
I put my ring on Toto's hand.
Ah, for your brother.
Brother from another mother.
Itadori.
Why don't you throw the marriage posters up on the board once you have a chance?
Oh, shit. Did you post them?
In Wedding Bells, Winter 2021.
Yay. Well, I'll go last, really quick. Meep, let's hear some fabulous words for your marriage pick. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Now, oh, Okay, we haven't given our votes for final episode of
Oh,
Horimiya
well,
yet.
then why did you tell me to throw up the fucking poster?
I was saying once we're done.
Okay. Yeah, no, chat. Custody was definitely the wrong word. Sorry about that. But yeah, no. I'm fucking this final episode. While I think the 12th episode is my preferred out of the two, this is still great. Seeing everyone come around, just have a lot of love in their heart for each other. Miyamura reflecting on how different and how generally worse everyone would be if they didn't open themselves up to each other the way they did. And just seeing nice little, not absolute resolutions and conclusions for everyone's stories, but it was, I loved seeing Shun, his sister, finally seeing his school persona when she's just like silent and just shocked and being like, Shun, big brother Shun, yes, little sister, that is you, right? You are my brother Shun, right? He's like, yes, little sister. I thought that was amazing. Yeah, I love the show. Big Eggplant, I love you. I love you. I love you, Horimiya. Will you be mine?
I'm gonna fuck Horimiya. It's a fantastic romance. It is phenomenal what they do with the amount of chapters. But at the same time, I do feel for the manga readers. For manga readers that came in and watched the first like 6 episodes, seeing it be done basically chapter for chapter, and then immediately having that shift, I do feel for you. The first 6 episodes led you to believe this was something that it wasn't, and I'm not sure if that was just a shift in direction or if they knew they weren't going to be able to get a second season, but or they could have had somewhere they wanted to specifically end. I don't know, but I do feel for them. But on the other hand, with what they had, they did amazing. I'm gonna continue fucking the show, but people that are upset about this, I feel you. We hear you, but again, we are anime only watchers, and as anime only watchers, we think this did a great job. Well, me and Dal did. Gilly hasn't given his opinion yet, but I wonder what Gilly's gonna say. I wonder if Gilly liked this show, guys. I won't speak for anyone though. I may poke fun, but I won't speak for anyone. But yeah, I'm giving this episode the fuck.
Come on, Gilly. Last minute betrayal. Let's go.
I love Horimiya. I'm gonna fuck this episode. I love this show. It's great. I'm I'm just sitting here actually skimming this manga, and the teacher actually gets an entire like volume focused on him.
Is it any good?
It's
Does he get
actually,
arrested?
yeah.
Does he get arrested?
He's still just as much as a creep. They're talking about like coming over to his like Miyamura, uh, Toru, and I keep forgetting his name because he just was not around long enough. Mr. Green Hair want to go to his house.
Shun, yeah.
They want to go to his house, and he's like, I don't want. Oh god, what is it? I want to go to Sensei's house. No guys allowed. However, you can come if you bring a girl. Miyamura, you bring Hori.
That would be a
It's like
fucking.
it's
That,
fucking ridiculous.
that
I
would
love
be a thing
this.
that would happen. Oh my god.
Does this guy get arrested?
By the way, you joke me, but a couple of those female students definitely wanted to bang him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yep. Sensei, take a selfie with us. Sensei, why is your arm not around us? Sensei, come closer. I'm like, oh, okay.
It gave me flashbacks to a show I'm also watching for contractual reasons. But not for next season. It's actually for something else me and another friend are doing.
Ah, okay.
We're
But yeah,
watching some
anything,
older anime.
Anything, ow, my ears, meep. Anything for, anything else for our lovely, darling Horimiya?
Not from me, no.
Alright, well, Horimiya, congratulations on completing. You're both Cloverworks. So, congratulations, Horimiya, for getting my hand in marriage, and also shame on you, Cloverworks, for overworking your staff to the point of hospitalization, and for making this easier on me to decide between Wonder Egg and Horimiya.
Horimiya is also done by Clover.
That's what I said.
Oh, wait, I'm confused. How did it make it easier then?
They made it easier because Wonder Egg is not done.
Oh, okay. Also, I'm sorry for raising my voice. That was just my genuine confusion.
Yeah, I know. In the meantime, shall we switch over to our final hurrahs to our brides and husbands and wedding partners to be?
Sure thing.
Meep, Jujutsu Kaisen is your choice yet again. I could have seen that coming.
Oh no, it's almost like it's almost like I have this rated as a 10 out of 10 on my anime list.
It's crazy.
Seriously,
the show you're constantly talking about is the one you chose to marry.
Listen, I love it. It's phenomenal and it's fantastic. It's amazing. I've been loving every single bit of it. It's gone nothing but up. Like I think my least favorite episode is definitely episode 8 when Toto and Mai first show up. That's just because it felt a little bit disjointed, but hey, that kind of thing happens. I I absolutely loved it though. Like it it does something that I love it when shonen does. It makes the side characters important to not just the main character, but to the story. Like Fushiguro and Nobara are clearly important to the story now. Like Fushiguro has something going on with hidden potential. Fucking also being Sukuna, the one Sukuna is eyeing. I know this is fantastic. It's I don't know what else to say that I haven't said already. It's phenomenal. To just touch on season 1, I can't decide which one I love more. I'd have to side with the second half just because god damn does Toto get some magnificent stuff. Do the side characters get some phenomenal shit, and I love Junpei. I love the versus Mahito arc, but at the same time, it the second core wins out by just a slight edge. I will be renewing my vows with Jujutsu Kaisen. Don't worry, viewers. Next season, I'm guaranteed to marry something new.
Surprise! Jujutsu Kaisen, second season, releasing April 12th. Alright. So that's you, right, Meep?
That is me. I'm just looking at this out of context panel, and I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. Let me take a look.
I need you to look at it.
Alright. Okay. What? Please tell me that's an edit.
No. It's not. I'm looking at it right now. I screenshotted that.
Nope, not touching it. No, not touching it. Nope, no. Fuck that. Fuck you. And
it's Kyosuke coming in and making stupid comments when she's telling me more like, get the holes in your ears to heal shut already.
fuck that. Fuck you. And fuck Kyosuke. Gilly, tell us about your bride, husband, wedding partner.
There's not much I really need to say. I'm just happy with Skate. Happy what it did for me. And it's something I could watch a few times over. Very similar to another show I have watched a few times over.
Are you gonna be going on your honeymoon on the poop monster spot?
Nah, I thought I'd honeymoon down in the pit of spikes.
Oof. Yeah,
Del,
Longa just straight up.
What?
Have I transitioned to what?
Have you Have you transitioned the slide? I'm just wondering if my stream's delayed.
Oh yeah, stream is super delayed, y'all. It is transitioned. But yeah, Longa straight up went down a cliff of spikes. Old Gilly, are you having fun, my son?
Ah. Well, you're not my dad, but I am having fun.
Yes, Papa. I am only 3, Papa. But yeah, I guess I'll usher in myself with Horimiya. I said what I said. I prefer episode 12 is my favorite over 13. I just really liked. It's the best Christmas episode I've ever seen. The show is very pretty to look at. The whole depicting anxiety as everything whiting out and you just having this shadowy layer of like colors that are changing is a wonderful visual cue. I don't like Hori's physical violence tendencies, though it's meant for humor. And we didn't really get to talk about this during the when we were just talking about the show, but this show's funny, man. Like, this show, Skate made me laugh a few times. Jujutsu Kaisen made me laugh a few times. Jobless Reincarnation made me laugh a few times. Even Spider got a couple of chuckles and laughs out of me. But Horimiya has consistently, almost episode to episode, made me cry and laugh. Sometimes even in the same episode. Its humor was on point. Its characters are great. The pacing and narrative is impressive when you understand the scope, but just consistent and enjoyable when you are watching it in its entirety. And for a show with this many characters that like I only dislike 2 or 3, one of which became way better at the end. Looking at you, Remy, good on you. Yeah, pink-haired gremlin. I love the show. I'm really glad we all got to watch it together. And I am just realizing now that they're holding pictures of their old selves in this photo, and I love this show even more. That's it, guys. That's winter 2021.
We still have our awards.
We do. But that was a series. That was the season of anime, y'all. Well, that's not true. Wonder Egg is finishing in June, and Spider is finishing on Friday. Well, not finishing,
means
but
Spider.
Yeah.
Which means Spider's carrying on to spring. Then when it's around fall, we'll have her summer season.
Wait, hold on. Is Spider carrying over to spring?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I didn't realize that.
It's 24 episodes.
Shit. Okay.
We're gonna have to string together these 4 chunks of this episode, though.
That's. We'll figure it out. It goes without saying, but I'm not touching this today.
I'm sure our audio editor.
Yeah, I think.
We'll probably be able to snag him in a call because I think he wanted to watch more JoJo's tonight too.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Sounds good. Final graveyard tour for this year. I've been watching JoJo's. We're in part 2. Part 2 is good. Part 1 I don't think is good. That's my review.
And you're wrong.
Fucking dare you.
Yep. Fuck you, Miko.
How dare you, all you want. But I am entitled to my opinion.
You are. You're also entitled to be wrong.
You're entitled to be wrong, Delaron.
I am. I'm just not wrong in this case.
Oh, you are.
Alright, boys. It's been a long stream. This has been a good technical difficult filled 5 hours. 4 hours if we don't count the technical difficulties. Thank you everyone for coming, y'all. This is another season of anime under all of our belts. we have survived.
Yeah. Just make sure to cut out technical difficulties before we send it to our audio editor to string them together.
I'll give it a look see on Thursday or Friday.
Yagi, no!
All right, everyone. We'll bid everyone adieu. Say bye, everyone, because we're gonna see you guys tomorrow at the same time, starting around 1:30ish. Pay attention to the Discord. Meep, drop that link. You guys could check it out in the doobly-doo. As always, I've been Dalaron Quest, and we're gonna be doing our awards tomorrow.
Quick, Vamp while I get the Discord link.
You could just drop it in.
I need to grab it.
Go ahead. Gilly, say farewell. I don't know why that was ominous. It wasn't intentionally ominous.
I've been giddy.
How many breads have you eaten, Gilly?
Also, I keep looking at more of this fucking shit, and holy fuck.
Yeah?
There's a lot of jokes that they did not put in there, and I understand why.
Okay. Is the manga more goblin-y?
It gets a lot. It gets a little more. At least in terms of like how they talk and some of their jokes, it's a little more what you'd actually expect from high school students.
Okay.
So it gets perverse from time to time, and really stupid and questionable, and it's great.
Fair enough.
Ishikawa-kun, you think hamsters are cutest from the back too, right? You don't get it, Miyamura-kun. When it comes to hamsters, it's all about the eyes. Sorry, but I literally don't care.
I love it. It's every fucking line is gold. Oh god.
Alright, everyone. Thank you. I will, yes, check. You know what? No, Markan, I'm not giving you that one. Alright, y'all. We appreciate everyone. Goodbye. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our awards, and then next time. Bye.
Boy.